When I, 37 meters, was 17, got my then girlfriend, 16, pregnant with twin boys. Her parents didn't want the babies to ruin her future, so they said that I had to either take them or give them up for adoption because she was not raising them. I wanted to give them up, but my parents told me not to. For the first 7 years of my boys' lives, I didn't act like a father and was more like a big brother. They knew I was their father though, but we never bonded like father-sons. When I was ready to move out, I wanted to do it without them, but my dad let me know it was my responsibility, so I had to take them. I didn't want it at first, but I'm glad it happened. We started bonding as father-sons. I started loving them, and their love for me increased. I remember the three of us would sit on the couch to watch movies. One would sit on my left, and one on my right while I wrapped my arms around them. They'd put their heads on my chest, and I often kissed their forehead. We've been doing this since they were 7. I met my current wife 5 years ago. My kids were 15. We married 3 years ago, after we welcomed our daughter, 4F. She saw me doing this with my kids when we watched movies and she never said anything. My kids are no longer living with us because they left for college, but they come to see me every now and then. My boys are 20 now, but they still like to put their heads on my chest while I wrap my arms around them. They do it every time they visit, and I'm watching TV. My son, Liam, visited me 2 weeks ago. He came out to me as gay and introduced me to his BF. I don't care how my kids live their sexuality or who they love. I love them no matter what. I just want them to be happy, and I don't feel any different, and it doesn't make me feel uncomfortable to hug him or kiss his forehead. But it seems that my wife is a little uncomfortable. My son visited me again last Wednesday, since he was here 2 weeks ago, so the first time officially out I was watching Red with my daughter. She was on my left. Then my son Liam arrived. He was tired and sat on my right, put his head on my shoulder while I wrapped my arm around him. Then I kissed his forehead and said, "Good to have you back, buddy." We went to sleep, and the next day my wife told me that it made her feel uncomfortable, me hugging and kissing my son, and asked me not to do it again. While she doesn't mind me doing it with Lucas, my other son, straight, she doesn't want me to do it with Lam. I told her that she has no business being in my relationship with my sons. I also called her homophobic. She accused me of not treating her like an equal parent to my sons. Thus I said that's okay, because you are not. My brother says I should understand, because this is a big change for her, a son coming out, but seriously think there is nothing to get used to. This isn't neither her nor my problem who my son loves. Am I in the wrong? NTA, your wife is sexualizing a gesture that is from parental love. I would be offended and tell her that she is being disgusting. Edit. At 15, your boots were fine being raised when she entered their life, so she really doesn't have any say. The fact that her thoughts went in a sexual direction is her problem. Father-son love doesn't change just because one of them verbalizes that they're gay. NTA. Your wife has some deep issues if she sees anything sexual in a very healthy and honestly beautiful father-son relationship, especially since she doesn't mind the same kind of relationship with a straight son. I had to delete several lines I was about to write about your wife's thought process because it's just so disgusting. Please, sit her down and have a very serious talk about this. Plus it is important for the son that Op continues to treat him the same since coming out as before, reinforcing that their relationship hasn't changed. NTA. She is being homophobic. The world needs more dads like you. And less bigots like the wife. NTA. Your wife is though, and definitely has some issues. If this upsets her, does she react the same when you cuddle or kiss your daughter? NTA. Op. Please listen to Platypus Brain here and broach that question with your wife. NTA. When it comes to your son, she is not and has not ever been an equal parent, so she has no reason to ask to be considered as such. Tell her to keep her homophobia to herself. Holy cow, you married the wrong woman. NTA. People like your wife, sigh, SMH. It's like she thinks your son being gay is going to turn you into an incestuous gay man. WTF. Can you even imagine? Stop showing your gay son affection because reasons. So we are hugging our straight kids and high-fiving the gay ones according to this delightful woman. I swear every day that goes by lowers my ability to tolerate such ignorance. NTA. I wish my dad wanted to cuddle with me. After I got bigger it started annoying him after I was about 8. AWW. NTA. Your wife is sexualizing this due to her own issues. She shouldn't interfere with how you bond with your sons. Right. She'll question his showing parental affection with his gay son, but doesn't see any issue with his doing the same exact thing with the other son and the daughter. Definitely homophobic. NTA. And you sound like best kind of parent. NTA. Yuck. Just what is she trying to imply? I think there is something really wrong with your wife. Are you allowed to do the shoulder thing with your daughter? I can't see what the difference is. I actually got all warm and fuzzy reading your description of watching TV with your kids. It was really sweet. Then your wife made me feel queasy. I'm not sure where I would go from here. If I was you, what can you even say to that? How does your son's sexuality even come into this? I would love to tell you divorce her, but that's a stupid gut reaction from me. She really needs help though, and I would struggle to ever look at her the same way after this. Yuck. NTA. Take a long hard look at your wife. She's sexualizing your relationship with your son. NTA. At all. You have a lovely relationship with your sons and it's your wife who is wrong. NTA. She thinks it's inappropriate for a father to kiss his son if the son is gay. By that standard, no parents should kiss their opposite sex children if the children are straight. This is so unbelievably dumb. I'm bisexual, so I guess that means that I can't show affection to either of my parents/s. Your wife is delusional. Showing love to your kid has nothing to do with their sexual orientation. I guess if the daughter turns out to be lesbian, she won't touch the daughter either anymore. Please keep showing affection to all the kids. They need it. Seeing as the wife is clearly a bigot, she probably wouldn't touch her daughter if the kid came out as a lesbian and would blame the daughter for it. NTA. Your wife is sick. She thinks your gay son might have the gays for you and gay you up. Sick, 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 sick. Have the gays for you. NTA. Liam is not different in any way, shape or form than he was 2 weeks ago. You just know more now. Your wife is not just homophobic. She is suggesting some sort of incestuous relationship with your son. She's fucking gross and needs to get her head out of her asterisk as soon as possible, because I would never be able to look at her the same way. NTA. You sound like you turned out to be a pretty awesome dad. Please don't ruin that by considering treating your son differently after he has come out. He would notice and it would devastate him. NTA. She's being homophobic. Why would you cuddling and giving your son kisses be different if it's with the one who's presumably straight vs the one who is gay? There's legit no difference. You're showing your son affection. What he does in a bedroom should never affect how you give affection. Unless he says something himself. Like, I don't get her thought process. Why does one's sexuality matter when giving your kid a kiss on the head? Cause to me it doesn't. I say presumably because he hasn't said otherwise. There's no mention that he's gay, bi, pan, ace, etc. Just that as far as you know he's a straight man. I don't want to assume he's anything other than what you know him as because he hasn't said otherwise. I'm sure you'd say otherwise if you were told. NTA. You are an amazing parent and good for you for standing up against your wife's homophobia towards your son. Absolutely NTA. You sound like a wonderful dad and she is clearly homophobic. NTA. What a disappointing side of your spouse to see. Sorry about that, buddy. You sound like a good dad. NTA. She is indeed homophobic. Glad you stand up for your boy. His sexual orientation is completely irrelevant to any comfort he gets from his father. Or anything, except his love life. Really? What is she worried about? Did she say that you catch gay and leave her? Maybe you can dig a bit deeper with her and help her see her prejudice. After all, you are a blended family, and it would be nice she can chill about that in the future. Not that she starts treating him differently or talks weird stuff to your youngest. So weird reaction on her part. NTA. The only way this is a problem is if she thinks you want to bang your son. If she thinks that of you, that's a pretty big red flag no matter what. Info. Do you want to bang your son? NTA. NTA. She doesn't get a say in how you bond and show affection with your son. NTA. And there is no understanding this. NTA. Those are your kids and you are not wrong for showing them affection. NTA. You are not in the wrong. You were absolutely right to stand up for your son. NTA. Would it be an issue if the twins were girls regardless of sexuality? And congrats on everything. There were many opportunities for things to go awry being a young dad that didn't have a say in the baby choice, and it sounds like you're knocking it out of the park. Keep up the great dadding. NTA. I'm shaking my head and wondering if this can be real. Is your wife serious? Is she weird about it with your daughter because she's female?